my 25-year-old self. Happy birthday to me. It says Merry Vlogmas. Imagine putting Stranger Things, It, and Paradise Lost into a blender with a hefty dose of LSD. You won't be able to forget it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 3. 3. My mom's with me today. Excuse the loud bottle noises. We have come to do some food shopping and things. Adulting. Love it for my 25-year-old self. Happy birthday to me. I spent the whole morning editing and just having breakfast in bed and just chilling a little bit. Really didn't feel like getting up and I was like, it's my birthday, it's fine. So, I've decided to come into Rossmann to pick up some things that I needed. When I first came here, VLOGMAS 2020, I used to use that one. And I think I still have the cream. It's very yellow. I need these. I don't know which one it is, but I think it's this one. I think they're the same. Ooh! After 8 Santas. And minus children. Yummy! Hello everyone! I have a bit of a mess around me. Even though I kind of cleaned up yesterday, it's a bit of a mess. Anywho, since it was my birthday, is my birthday still today, we initially had the plan to go ice skating, but I don't even know if that's gonna happen because it's quite late-ish. It's 7 and we want to go to the one in Mannheim, so I don't know. I think I might put it off till next week. I got so hungry and I started feeling so like loopy that I hate this overhead lighting. That's why I always have the cozy lights on. Anyway, I made myself a bunch of random bits of food, and this is what happens when I get very hungry as I'm cooking. I'm going to show you because this is the reality of things. And also I want to show you my jumper. This is the first Christmas jumper that I'm wearing of the year. It says Merry Vlogmas from Rick and Morty. I flipping love Rick and Morty. Rick is just fantastic. But I'm wearing that one. This is actually a men's jumper. I find that sometimes men's jumpers are a lot better than women's. And I love it. And there's Pickle Rick here. I got very hungry. And in the supermarket when you're hungry, it just doesn't work out. It doesn't. So I started getting a bunch of random things. But I was like, okay, I could do it like this. I could do it like this, and so. And tomorrow, because it's Sunday, I could eat this. And cook this and plan this and do that, right? So that's the intention. We'll see how the execution goes. But I did a bunch of random foodie bits right now. Not gourmet at all. Not usual cooking at all. I initially had planned to make some carbonara and things like that. I might make it tomorrow, later. I don't know. God knows when. But right now, I am in starvation mode. And I've been nibbling at chocolate and sweets the whole day, and it's just incredibly unhealthy for me to do so, and I just feel awful. Not guilty or anything like that, because I only do this in December. But I feel awful in the sense of I need food. So these are the foodie bits that I came up with. This is the real thing. I usually cook more things. I do like a more of a cohesive meal, but this one really didn't make sense, so I had to show you. Because why not? So here it is. We had some skyr yogurt, which is high in protein, and then I just decided to I was like, oh, I'll have a pear with it, but then I just ate the pear without putting it inside, because I was just too lazy to cut it, so I ate the pear and started spooning this into my mouth, and I was like, oh, I might put something crunchy in it, so I decided to put some of the cereal, flakes, clustered flakes things, which tastes good, but it just tastes a bit funky, because the yogurt, the skyr yogurt is vanilla, and this is chocolate, so, I mean, 50-50. Then, as usual, I started to crave pasta because I got really, really cold. I was freezing and I needed to get some energy and warmth from somewhere. So I decided to make the ready, the freshly cooked pasta. It's the 3-4 minute ones where you just literally boil it in 3-4 minutes and add whatever you want. And I was like, oh yeah, let me grab some pesto because I was too lazy to grab the pesto from the back. Then I just put butter and parmesan with salt. because gourmet. I do have pesto, I do have sauces, but this is what I grabbed. And then because I was like, oh, I need a bit of like protein or fish or something because I'm just really craving, like, I started craving salmon like crazy. So here it is, some cream cheese, lactose-free cream cheese with a bunch of salmon, salt, pepper, lemon, and capers. Then I just had this laying around and I was like, oh, this is out the fridge. I should probably drink this now, even though this might be a bit much. But it's the pistachio protein shake because I was really, really like cold and hungry. So I was supposed to drink this on the way, but I didn't. And then on top of it, I made myself a little Lichter Magie Bratapfel tea. I need to get my ducks sorted, but for now, do you know what we're gonna play? We're gonna play more Lord of the Rings. That's what we're gonna do. Good morning, everyone. Today, you find me in bed again. I've spent this whole weekend in bed, and honestly, there's part of me that's just like, you should do more, get up, do something. But there's the other part of me that's like, you desperately need this. I'm so exhausted still, like my body's only just starting to feel a little bit restored after the last week. So I'm not too mad at it. I kind of still want to stay in bed and like do all the work because I did say like I felt like kind of ill-ish on Thursday and I'm just trying not to get ill. But anyway, you find me here on my bed. I was reading a little bit of Imaginary Friend. Honestly, I think this is more of like a night book. I look horrendous. I have not done anything whatsoever to my appearance. Like I've rolled out of bed, gotten some food, and just turned the camera on. So there's that. I need to do some skincare, make my face all nice and glowy. But anywho, I decided to grab the camera first. Yeah, I think this book is just going to be a crazy read. I got it recently and like I just want to keep on reading it. Like I just want to see what happens. So yeah, I'll tell you whenever I finish it because this book is chunky. It's big. I just wish I could freeze time and just stay reading and forget about my responsibilities and things and time and just read and read and read and read, which is what I really want to do over the Christmas holidays. Like I want to grab a bunch of books and be like, yep, I finished that one, I finished that one, I finished that one, because I spent the entirety of it reading, watching movies, playing games, eating food. That's all I want to do during the Christmas holidays. That's my plan. Anyways, I made myself a little bit of a brunchy breakfast. Welcome to my Christmas pajamas. These are my they're last year's, I think it was, or the year before that. No, I think they were last year's Christmas pajamas that I got for everyone, but this year I'm going to try to make them myself, which we'll see how that goes. Because I've never made pajamas, but we can always try. Yeah, I've made myself a bit of a brunchy breakfast. It's a very weird combination. I never do things like this, but it's not exactly morning. It's like midday. But it is morning for me because I had a terrible night's sleep. I just had nightmares on nightmares on nightmares, and I had a nightmare about everything that could be possibly stressing me out or I could have a nightmare about. I had it. So I had a really rough night's sleep. I woke up at 9 and I was like, I feel so dead. I feel like I haven't even slept. So I continued sleeping and I kept on trying to get up and get up and get up and I couldn't. And at 12 I just said, right, you still can't even open your eyes. Well, not 12, like at 11 something. I was like, you can't even open your eyes, just get the fuck up. Whatever. You'll have more sleep later. We'll think about sleep later. But yes. And I opened my advent calendar tea. This is the second day though, even though it's the 4th already. It's peppermint, my flippin' favorite. Yeah, so we have peppermint tea today for the 2nd of December. I've still got to open my chocolate Christmassy doors, but I ate so much chocolate over the last couple of days that I'm just like, eee! So now I'm gonna open them today and have 4 pieces of chocolate. Anyway, I have zero plans as how today's gonna go. Honestly, initially the plan was to get up at 5, 6 in the morning and take it as a work day, as if I were in school, and just work the entire day on things that I needed to do and get ahead as much as possible. But because of my lovely little sleep scenario yesterday, I haven't felt the greatest, and I'm like, look, it's Sunday, make use of it. You actually don't have to go to school today, so go for it. Don't know if we're gonna go to the Christmas market today, don't know if we're gonna go ice skating, but we'll see what happens today. I literally have zero plans now. I have the Noel diary on because I really wanted to watch this last night, but I kind of just fell asleep watching Lord of the Rings again. I watched, what did I watch? I watched The Two Towers, and I think I started The Return of the King, which means I could kind of get on. I'm not sure if I finished it, but like I said, I fell asleep, so I don't think I did. Fell asleep mid film, I think, and it just shut off. Oh, I was so exhausted the last 2 days. I've been falling asleep like that, which is unlike me. I'm not the kind of person that ever falls asleep with the TV on or lights on. I have to turn it off and have like quiet and calming music, but that just speaks as to how exhausted I've been, and it's only gonna get even more intense. So yeah, here's to the next week. Oh my god, I've got 2 exams next week. It's not as hectic as this week though, so I am thankful. Just a tiny bit, but yeah, we'll see how it works. I'm still in pajamas! Alas, a very holiday Sunday. It's the only one I'm gonna have till Christmas. I know this. So I'm making it last. I've treated myself to this weekend just being like that because this migraine has just not gone away. It hasn't gone away. It's subdued and it's gone into kind of like a headache thing, but I'm still very sensitive. Yeah. And I just wanted to show you my lemony birthday cake. My birthday cake here. We just made this cake. I wanted to make another cake and I had other plans. I think I'm just gonna probably celebrate my birthday properly, I guess, next weekend. But I've just finished watching Noel Diary and oh my god, you guys. It's like a new favorite Christmas film. I fell in love with the main character again. Around minute 30. If you want to click and watch this movie and watch it tonight, when you hit minute 30, that's when I fell in love with him. So watch Noel Diary. Go to minute 30 and you'll see why. But anyway, this headache is not subduing. And I'm just thinking that it's 4 p.m. now. I still don't have done any of the work. I haven't even edited this vlog or anything like that. And I wanted to like sort some things out, but I just still feel like bleh. I wanted to make a Lego and add it to like my vlog things. And I'm just gonna have to figure stuff out because update. Probably is this going to be the most boring vlog day because there's literally nothing interesting happening as because this migraine has just killed me. But if you guys must know, I'm playing The Holiday again. It is my top favorite. They're going to remove it from Netflix on December 31st and I've just decided to play it in the background non-stop whilst I'm working because I've seen it so many times. I could recite it properly. Probably, not properly. Probably, but anywho, I've got stuff to do and do I have the energy, motivation, or the ability to do that right now? No, I don't. But it's 8 p.m. but I'm dying. I can't. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, here's the thing. I've got so much to do, so much to hand in, so much to, like, there's always shit you could be doing, right? There's always something you can do. And the to-do list is the length of my arm and it keeps on getting longer, right? But the most important thing that I need to do for tomorrow is study for this damn exam. But as I have this migraine going on, I have to keep myself awake and turn the lights on, and to me, I just can't even keep my eyes open. And the more I read and I try to get the information into my brain, nothing is coming inside my brain. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about this. Anywho, wanted to show you something else to make this vlog a little bit more interesting. I want to show you, you're propped up on a pile of books right now, but I wanted to show you the books that I have on my cupboard, on my bedside table. I don't know how you call it. I don't know where this thing is. I'm wearing my Primark dressing gown. It says Mrs. Claus here, I think. And I love it. I have nowhere to place you, but here we go. One triple chocolate cookie from there. Anywho, I wanted to show you the books I have on my bedside table. The ones I'm reading, the ones I'm not. Oh, there are two piles back here, but just got this one. Imaginary Friend, Stephen Chbosky. He's the writer of Perks. What's it called? The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love that book when I read it. And this is his first book. After that one, oh, this is his second book. Imagine putting Stranger Things, It, and Paradise Lost into a blender with a hefty dose of LSD. You won't be able to forget it. Daily Express. That's what they described this book as. And it just kept calling me on the bookshelf. I never even like had any intention of buying this book. I just saw it and I was like, oh. And it kept on calling me, so I was just like, just fuck it, let me get it. I started reading it, and it's one of these books. I am on page 12. I am very much at the beginning, but it's one of these books that I'm like, I have to keep on reading it. And I just keep being called to like see what happens. Like, I'm so curious to see what happens, because I just have no idea where this is gonna go. And the way that this book started, it gripped me. So this is like on my like top list of like, I really want to finish this. So that's what I'm currently reading. Started reading If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is a very like dark academia book, 100%. It is basically Shakespeare drama school, autumnal November cold vibes. It has Latin in it, so it's like very much dark academia, but it has like thriller bits, which I think is wonderful. I think I really like a thriller. Anyway, this is the other one that I got recently that I didn't put in the vlog. That's what I'm telling you guys. Should have probably just vlogged that and inserted it into one of my clips to make it even more interesting. I got this book too. This is The Cosy Cottage in Ireland, Julie Kaplan. I think that's how you say her name. This is a romance novel. I call these like my palette cleansers. When I'm getting too much of something, like too much fantasy, too much this, too much that, I like kind of like to switch things around so I continue reading, and I just don't like be like, I don't want to read it because I'm just like kind of sick of it, or it's not what I really want at the moment. That's the only reason really why I like to read different books, like, well, yeah, different books, multiple books at the same time. That's basically why. I love how I'm wasting time, and I could be doing things that are productive, but I'm not. I'm gonna have to pause that because I'm gonna get copyrighted. Anyway, this next one is called The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering that, I know. I just need to hear it once and then I can say it right. But yeah, this is a book that I've been wanting to get for ages, in a specific cover, because I thought this was a cool concept. And this seems like a perfect thriller. It's small enough to fit into a bag and a pocket. I love books this size because honestly, like, you can just chuck it in your bag and you can't like say like, don't have anything to read. Like, this is a perfect book to just throw in your jacket, your big wintry jackets, and whenever you're like waiting for things in between, you can just always like grab a page or two. There's always something to do. But I haven't started reading this one. It looks super interesting. Thriller as well. There's like murder and a criminal psychotherapist, person that never spoke after like committing murder, and it's just about the whole story of this thing, which sounds flippin' amazing if you ask me. I'm gonna put these back. I got so many books. And then there's these at the back. Let's get them out. Always the same controls that fall off. And then there are these. These are at the back because they're not current reads, but they're still recent, and I haven't found... I should probably put this in there now. There's space in there, so I can make space for this. Right, this is Dance of Thieves, Mary E. Pearson. I've shown this in another vlog. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Really excited to read this. Have not even picked it up, so I'm just going to put it over there. This is The One by John Mars. This is a thriller that instantly captivated me, but I haven't continued reading it because I generally just want to sit down and like read it as much as possible and in one go, because since there's multiple points of views, you're gonna have to keep the points of views in your head to keep on going, and because I take breaks and like read different books at the same time, I kind of forget it. So I think this is best to just read it in like one go, one sitting, or just like a few days, within a span of a few days, so then you can see it properly for what it is, because then otherwise you have to keep on going back and seeing, and just, yeah, so you keep it in mind. So I think this is amazing so far, but I need to start reading it from the beginning again, and I know I can. I started reading it and it was so fast, so I'm very excited to see how this book ends. I have not watched this series. It says it's a Netflix series. Then I also have Shatter Me. I read the first page and I was like, this is a book that I can probably eat up fast, because it's like decent size, it's quite thin, it's not a chunky book, it has nothing to do with this. So they're easy progress books is what I call them. So whenever you want to like get a book down and you're like, I just want to finish a book and be like, okay, I read another book this year, they're one of the easier ones because it's not too much, the font's pretty decent, and it's a series, so you can just keep on going within the series and feel like you've made a lot of progress quite fast. And I also think the concept is really cool. I've never seen this done, so I will report back on how I like this. I need to continue doing my reading journal. That's probably a good idea. The last one that I was reading at the same time, because I was rereading the Twilight Saga. Recently I read Twilight. Ignore the state of me, but this has migraine all over the place. I'm just trying, okay, I'm trying really hard to get content, you guys, to make vlogs a little bit more interesting, because I've just been in bed and feeling miserable the whole time. And I really enjoy books, so here's a little cozy book shelf thing. So yeah, New Moon, everyone knows. I really just want to read it properly because I love Twilight, I love the soundtrack, I love the vibes, I love the aesthetics. It's an easy read, and I remember like one of my best memories from the US and being with my mom is that one night when I had a nightmare and I just woke up in the middle of the night and she just comforted me. I went to her bed and I remember her reading these. This was like, I want to say 2008. It was either 2007 or 2008, so it was a while ago. And she was just gobbling these books up. She finished all of them, the whole saga, in like a week, I want to say. That's what I remember. One of the nights, like, she was reading this one specifically and she just kept on like turning the pages, and I would just look up at her and falling in and out of sleep and watch her read, and it just brought me so much comfort. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I always like seek comfort with reading. Whenever I feel like a bit meh, I go to books, because it's just, yeah. But here you go, that's a little bit of an insight of my past. So I really want to read it and just have experience that moment again, and I'm very excited. But that's these. On this side here at the back, I have like, when I say I have like 15 books on my bedside table, it's unreal, it's abnormal. Then I have A Discovery of Witches. I started rereading it, went very far in, but this book is chunky, first of all, and second of all, the font is tiny, so I feel like I do no progress, even though I sat one day like reading for like probably like 8 hours and I got really far. There it is. That's my reread of this book. I love this book. I love the whole concept of this. It's about vampires, witches, and that kind of thing, fantasy, but this book just makes me want to like meet a vampire and like see what they've experienced, because honestly, just like, yeah, it's a 3-book, is it a trilogy or is it a saga? Don't know. There's just so much goodness in this, so I love it. It's on my bedside table. Whenever I get like a spare moment, I like continue reading it, and like I start tabbing things that I really like, or moments or things. Then I'm reading Verity by Colleen Hoover. Did I even say who the author was? It's A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Sorry. Then I have this one, which is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I started reading this one. I'm not quite far in. What page is this? I'm page 36, and I just really want to get through this, because it's also like a easy like chomp book. Like, I think I'm gonna put this one in my bag and just continue reading it. This book I've been reading for ages and I cannot get through, and I don't know why. I think it's because I just keep on getting stuck in the same page and I just forget, and I don't know. But I love The Witcher. I love it to bits. The first book was just amazing, and this is the second book. Sword of Destiny before the rest of, like, I have the rest of them back there. I bought all of the whole book set in January this year. So it's only been a whole year and I can't get through the second book, which is a bit like, why am I not giving myself the time? It's because I've started like 50,000 other books and finished other books without finishing this one, that's why. But since this is like a lot of fantasy and like a lot of stories and things like that, sometimes I do need a palette cleanser and then I go to the other books like these. And yeah, it depends because my taste is very broad when it comes to reading. I'd say, I don't know. You might look at me and be like, no it's not. No it's not, Nicole. But yeah, like for example, on my bedside table, this is what you currently find. Like this is at the bottom, but at the top, this is what you currently find. You have The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This one, which is a big boy. It is a big boy. And I have not read this one. I want to start this one. It's New York based. Yeah, I just saw that. And I love the way the pages feel. Can I just say that? I love the way the pages feel. And also, I wanted to say that this, I think it starts off in like a Christmassy setting or something, so that's why it's down here. I took it out my bookshelf because I'm like, give this one a go, maybe during the holidays. The next one I have is Sally Rooney, Normal People. I just recently got this. Again, it's a very thin one, a palette cleanser kind of thing, I think. Sometimes, I don't know, my personal opinion is I read the other Conversation with Friends, the other book by Sally Rooney, and I thought it was a bit like slightly depressing tone. It seemed very dull and monotonous, like, I don't know. And it was different to what I've read, which was enjoyable. So I'm very much like 50-50, so I wanted to get another book and like have a full opinion of like, okay, so far this is what I think of Sally Rooney's writing. But so far, I think she tackles topics that are very like seemingly overlooked. She takes it into more a normal setting and like portrays it in a very human way, which is a positive sense. But in my opinion, like her writing to me, her writing styles to me is like slightly dull, or sounds dull in my head the way I read it. I don't know, I think it's mostly because she doesn't put any like quotation marks and she just continues like dialogues, and then I get confused, and some of the sentences are very just like blunt and short in the conversations between the two people. And that's what happened in the other book. So I've just read 4 pages of this one and I really want to give this one a chance and be like, do I hate you? Do I love you? Do I just not vibe with her writing? And I really want to love her because everyone's loving her at the minute, and I can see why, I can see the appeal, but I have no idea. We have to give this one a go. I have a Christmassy book. This is a romance comedy, a rom-com book. This is Jenny Colgan, Christmas at the Ellen Hotel. I picked this one up last year. You can even see it on the ticket. It says like what does it say, 22nd of November 2021. Yeah, I got it then, and I never like really picked it up or finished it or anything, so I decided to read it this year. I was gonna get a new one, but I said nope, you're not gonna get any new ones, not any Christmassy ones, until you finish this one and some other books that you have at home, because I had already bought new ones. I bought the Sally Rooney ones. And then last but by no means least, I have Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights. This seems like a very wintry book to me, like the setting, I have no idea. I read this ages ago for school, but when I started reading it again, I was just like, this gives me like cozy vibes. Like I should read this when it's winter and I get cozy, and like I'm just reading it along. And then also because this is very like, it's like a heavy text and the font is tiny. It's probably like a 9 or a 10. And it is tiny, it is packed. So I think I was just like, okay, I can read this and read as much as I can, but then at some point I will need a palette cleanser. So this is more or less what it kind of looks like. I would personally add a little bit of vampires and fantasy towards this, because this is like a thriller, rom-com, classic, and then I should probably just do this and finish it. Like so. So these are kind of like the books I kind of carry around the genres. And usually I'd have a non-fiction book lying about there somewhere. So I think I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad or something like that recently. It's somewhere in my bookshelves. No idea where, I moved stuff around, but that's the kind of like thing I like to read. So there you go. That's a what's in my bedside table book edition for you. When I look like a tool. And I feel like a tool, and I should be productive, but I'm not. So this is your little segment of the vlog. I hope that's made it a little bit more interesting. Had many plans, none of that happened. Migraine put it, well, migraine was just like nope, Nope. Rest is what you need. Rest is what you shall get. Bed. Bedbound. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this whole segment. If you were interested and you like that, that's my little book. So near, oh my god, I just realized that they're the same publishing company. I got to go have some dinner. One of the things is just gonna be click play on the holiday. It brings me comfort and peace whenever I'm stressed AF. And that's my cue to go because of the killers.